Welcome to Women of the Wild,
where education and opportunities are key,
and friendships are made to last a lifetime.
Did you get it?
You think we got him? You think we got him? We got him. We said that yesterday.
All right, Skylar, what do we got here?
We've got a nice looking rip-off.
Yeah. Oh, there she is. Woo! You dropped our great ghost.
Give me a hug.
Hello, and welcome to the Women of the Wild podcast. I am your host, Linda White, and this week we are going to take you to the Outdoor Rama in Michigan. Let's listen.
As my co-host, Felicia Marie. How you doing, Felicia?
wonderful. How are you guys?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
And we have our guest of honor here, Hannah Weigold.
Very excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm
Having a
excited
great
to have
time.
you. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So we are doing something a little different than normal. We are live at the Outdoor Rama in Michigan. Kind of exciting.
It's very exciting. Hannah is one of our clients. She's a client representative for us with Women of the Wild. She started hunting with us and fishing with us and has fully immersed herself in the outdoors and with us as a company, really built a great sisterhood. And you've been on, 6-7 trips with us now?
A lot of trips. Not enough trips, but a lot of trips. Yeah.
And then being here at Outdoor Rama, we had Muzzy Pheasant Farm and Blast and Cast Guide Service were generous enough to provide us a booth here in Novi, Michigan at the Suburban Showplace Collection Center. And Hannah came out to be a testimony to our organization and what we're doing and getting women in the outdoors and promoting the education aspect of it. So thank you for coming out.
Of course, I love you guys, and obviously without you, I wouldn't have had the opportunities I've come across lately. So I really appreciate that. I'm ready to dive in even deeper.
So I gotta ask, Hannah, what got you started in all of this? What got you, wanting to come on to venture out? What was it?
So I grew up hunting and fishing. I kind of got that started with my dad. So we would go out and fish for salmon at the pier and deer hunt, and I just really enjoyed all of that. And I'm one of those people that is always wanting to expand my knowledge and try new things. And I've always wanted to do waterfowl, sturgeon fishing, things like that. That's how I found you guys. It was like August last year on my birthday, and I was looking for a sturgeon trip, and I just came across your page, and I was like, oh, that looks fun. And I didn't get to go on that. I was too late on that, but I saw that you guys were hosting that educational goose hunt, and I was like, all right, babe, I'm gonna do this. I have social anxiety, but I'm gonna step out and I'm gonna experience this and see how it goes. And it all kind of just kept going from there. So I've gone on the goose hunts. I did diver hunts back in October, which were amazing. I went to Nebraska in November with you guys. Just went to Texas with you guys for cranes and waterfowl, and now I'm going to Texas for aoudad and turkeys, and we're gonna keep on trucking with the game.
So I take it that the social anxiety is no longer a problem on these trips.
No, like I was honestly super surprised. Like all the girls I met when I went on that educational trip, I'm still super close with. I was really, intimidated by Felicia at first, but I got to know her more, and I was like, she's an amazing woman, and I can definitely see her as like a mentor. And
I have to know what the intimidation was.
You're
I'm
so
like
tiny.
5 foot. I'm 100 pounds, lady. Where's the intimidation factor there?
I feel like for me it was because you just knew about it, which shouldn't be something someone's intimidated about because obviously you have to learn.
Right.
But for me it was like, oh, she knows what she's doing.
I appreciate that.
You know what though? So something that I've always thought of is yeah, sometimes it can be a little intimidating being around people who really know what they're doing. But I also think sometimes it's not so bad because she's willing to teach you more. Like she's not one of those people who are like, I totally know everything.
Oh yeah, she is definitely not bad at all. Yeah, that's definitely not Felicia. Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, that's definitely not Felicia at all, and she is just so welcoming and warm, and I really needed that when I was stepping out of my comfort zone. So that really helped me a lot, and I know it's really hard for a lot of the girls. I have a couple people near me that have seen me going on these trips and talking about Women of the Wild all the time, and they're like, I'm just super nervous, and I'm like, no, do not be. I was so wrapped up in like, how could this go wrong? And it's never gone wrong at all.
I think that's a big thing that a lot of women, some groups you get into these like drama filled, it's all about a competition, it's all about, like who's better at this, what do I know, how can I compete?
Yeah.
And I think we really try to do our best to not have those things. It's okay, what do you know? But then how can we take you to the next level? How can we share maybe somebody who's a little bit more experienced, with you? How can we bring you up instead of, oh, we're going to compete or we're going to this? Like, I've been on women's trips where it has just been filled of drama, and it's so great that you have been on 7 now and you've never had that experience.
Never. I have never once, and I am just so thankful for that. Like, Felicia keeps it sane. She keeps it clean, organized. There's not a sense of chaos ever, which is wonderful to have, especially when you go out of state and go on all these trips and do these new things and meet new people.
Now, you've done not just the trips, though, but you've had you've done some of the educational events as well. Now, you've done in-person and online, right?
I've only done the online so far. Okay. I wasn't able to make it to the in-person events this year, but it's definitely something I'm going to be going to in the future.
So what are those experience like with the online one? How did you feel it went?
I really liked that. The online trapping class this past Tuesday, I sat in the comfort of my own home. I plugged my earbuds in. I took notes, which was really nice. I was able to ask questions. It was like I was there, and I didn't have to go anywhere. How was the
teacher?
The teacher was fantastic. You were very responsive to all the questions and very helpful and explanatory, and it was awesome. It was really good.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that. And just for everybody listening, I did not pay her to say any of those things. I feel like I need to put that in there.
She is not a paid representative.
I wish I was a paid representative.
But Linda, you've done these trapping events, these courses online for a while now. I remember sitting on one before you were even part of us, and you did an amazing job. And the education for all these women based upon like what you don't know and bringing that to them. There's a lot of misconceptions behind trapping. So doing those online and then hopefully bringing those girls into in-person classes to get a better feel for it. So like she may have just done the online, but I just heard her talking earlier and we've discussed it about her wanting to actually physically get out there and do the trap line and learn it one-on-one and go to one of these classes now. So that's a great opportunity as an intro. Sit in online to one of our free courses or one of our discounted rates and learn something and see if you want to get into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I think that something that we all do very well is trying to educate everyone from every aspect. So as far as like if you are a hunter and you don't understand the trapping aspect, or if you're a fisherman and you don't understand the hunting aspect, really trying to get it all put together, trying to cross into each different sport and everybody have like a full rounded education about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It all ties in together in the end. It's all about conservation and caring for nature and the outdoors and being outside. And
oh yeah. Yeah. And and that's something, so as being a trapper, I mean, we're the low-hanging fruit. You know, we're always the one. We're always the one that PETA seems to go after first on everything. So I love that we all seem to, like, we're not going to have any of that nonsense, because I've had hunters before who just don't understand what I do, who are like, oh, you shouldn't be trapping, you shouldn't this. And I love how Women of the Wild, we're like, no, listen, we're all in this together, whether you fish, whether you hunt, whether you trap, whether you don't do anything and you're just canning standing on the sidelines, like, we're all in this together. So I think that that's, like, really important for people to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, like, even if you just you don't hunt, you don't fish, it's just good to know how it all, like I said, blends together and is this own little world of what it is.
Right. So what is your favorite hunt that you've been on with us?
Oh, man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
It's honestly really hard. For me, my first was that diver hunt. Mm-hmm. That was a whole new, like, view on things. Like, when I would think of duck hunting, I'm like, oh, you're in a field, you're in flooded timber. I never imagined I'd be laying out in the middle of Lake St. Clair in a layout boat when it's 10 degrees, windy, and I'm literally laying on the surface of the water, and these birds come in. They're landing and cupping in before you can even, like, realize they're there. They're so fast. There's so many of them. It was really cool because right when the first light hit in the morning and the sun started rising, we could see over to the Canada side of Lake St. Clair.
And now a short word from our sponsors.
Girls with Guns Clothing is a proud sponsor of Women of the Wild's podcast. If you are looking for hunting gear, be sure to check out our new fall collection, including the launch of our new Artemis Generation 2 lineup. With Girls with Guns, you know that our gear has been designed and field tested by women who actually hunt and wear this gear. We have an amazing team of women who contribute and share their ideas and extensive field testing so that our gear works for you in multiple hunting environments. We build our gear for women of all shapes and sizes, made by women for women. If you want to try out GWG, you can go to gwgclothing.com and use WILD15 for a discount off of your first order.
Spark that fire and passion for the great outdoors through the gift of reading and learning with your kids. Dr. Josh Farr's vivid storytelling will captivate and teach your little ones through books like The ABCs of Hunting, Let's Go Out and Play, and his latest book, coming soon, The ABCs of the Outdoors. Your kids will love the great stories and bright, colorful pictures as they learn about friendship, life, and nature. See all of Dr. Josh Farr's books at drjoshfarr.com. That's drjoshfarr.com.
Well, you see, trappers are a special breed of people. We're dedicated, committed, and passionate about what we do and who we are. Each and every one of us has an intense desire to be the very best we can. So in the world of skinny jeans, man buns, and pumpkin spice lattes, sometimes you just have to stop, push back, and tell the world, that's not me. Whether you're from the far north or in the deep south and anywhere in between, Southern Snares can help you succeed at getting the job done and being who you are.
Hey everyone, Andy Lehman here from ACC Crappie Sticks. Just want to let you know about our crappie baits and jig heads. We have a wide selection of the hottest colors and big eye crappie jig heads in the most popular colors and sizes. Check them all out at accrappiesticks.com. Thank you.
We would also like you to check out Sawmill Creek Bait and Lures, RMC Custom Calls, Atlantic Coral Enterprise, Blast and Cast Guide Service, Epler Fur, Feather Moon Calls, Shangalaya Safaris, Shelly Emmer with Dirty Girl Guide Service, and Hunting Day Podcast.
Okay, yeah, so the diver hunt, watching the birds come up with the sunrise, it was mesmerizing and the core memory that I will have forever. My next favorite hunt would be the sandhill crane, because here in Michigan, we cannot hunt them. I just started seeing them all over the place the past 2 or 3 years, and I had never seen them before. I remember driving down the road after work one day, and I look over, and there's a 5-foot-tall bird with a red forehead, and I'm like, what is that? And then from there, I just started noticing them more and more, and they make that amazing kind of like purr noise, and it was really cool to be able to go and hunt them down in Texas. Just seeing them in the masses that they were in was worth the experience overall, and then being able to taste what they tasted like after hearing how good they were definitely completed that.
Yeah. Have you ever done anything like that before?
I have never done anything like that, no.
So prior to any of these trips, fishing was the only thing that you really had taken part in, right?
Fishing and hunting.
So you did hunt before?
Yeah, I did hunt before. I grew up, I live over the west side of Michigan, the Muskegon, Whitehall area is where I've lived my whole life. So the youngest memory that I have is sitting in my dad's tree stand with him and seeing him shoot a doe and sitting out there in the middle of the dark with a flashlight as he looked for more blood. And then eventually I ended up getting my own bow, which is a Strother lure. They don't make them anymore, so that's why I haven't gotten rid of it yet after
nice
10, 11 years. But I shot my first deer when I was 13. And that really drove the nail for me, especially with my bow, because it took all the dedication. I had deer come in out of range, and I'd practiced, being quiet, being calm, being still, noticing all these little details out there. So that really taught me that patience and this appreciation for just being present there. But yeah, once I got that deer, I was into it. So I've just bow hunted up until last year. Bow hunted for deer. I've hunted with guns. Yeah. It's not as exciting. It's still hunting, but bow hunting was definitely the thing my dad raised me on, and it's still something that he does. He's kind of fallen off a little bit, but life happens,
Right.
Hopefully I can stay as determined and dedicated as I am once I get up there, but and then so I'd fish for like bluegill and bass and pike. My favorite thing is sitting on the pier at 12 a.m., 1 in the morning, just throwing spoons for hours. Trying not to tangle up with my neighbors, because when the salmon run through the pier, they run.
Yeah.
So everyone and their brother are out there. And that also teaches you that patience and paying attention to details. And I think that has really helped me in my life to adapt to who I am as like a worker and as like a person. I don't know. I feel like it has. I feel like it's influenced me a lot more than like, I like to go outside and fish, or I like to go out and hunt. It's definitely molded me in a way, in an aspect. And I'm really appreciative of that. And that passion for being outdoors gave me the motivation to start going to college last year too. So I'm working on a degree for wildlife conservation, because over the years I've watched my wildlife areas and nature preserves around me kind of deteriorate and not get cared for, and population numbers drop. So I want to be able to make a change and have all these animals and habitats be around forever, especially for my son to enjoy that. And he loves fishing. He loves fishing so much. He was really sad this year because we haven't been able to ice fish.
Oh, I know.
We'll soon be able to go and get some bluegill when it warms up and they come in from the depths of the lakes.
So, Hannah, I got to ask, how old are you?
I am 24.
Okay. So the reason I ask is because I'm also on the board of the FTA, which is Fur Takers of America. And Fur Takers of America has 3 scholarships up for women who are in an educational field of the outdoors to go to their Fur Takers College this year. So I'm just saying, that might be an opportunity for you.
I would love to know more about that.
Yeah, and anybody else who's listening, so I believe it's between the ages of 18 to 25. So
I'm almost done.
I know. That's why I was like, hey.
I have till the end of August pretty much. So I got to get that information.
Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. So not to sideline Women of the Wild there, but I just thought I'd throw that out.
Great opportunity.
We got chainsaws again?
We got chainsaws. I'm sorry I missed that. We had some women coming in that were curious of what we were all about. Really excited to listen into the podcast. And
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. We talked about Hannah, the things that she's done, and now let's talk a little bit about this show.
Yeah, this is a great expo. Michigan runs this every year, and we have, as you said, chainsaws going off. There's lumberjacks out here cutting wood. We have Muzzy Pheasant Farm next to us, Blast and Cast, but there's so many other companies here. Frank's Outdoors is here. Pickle vendors, the boat vendors. I mean, I don't want to call that a boat vendor, boat show.
I think it's a boat show, yeah.
Boat show. They have like the sheds and everything here, and basically anything to put you outdoors. Linda's still over here laughing at me.
So
it's not really a vendor.
All I could think about was Step Brothers, boats and hoes.
They also
Lemon
have
heads,
that
nachos.
amazing trout pond, which is my favorite part of any sort of outdoors related activity for conventions or get-togethers. Trout pond.
Yeah.
You gotta love a trout pond.
Lots of guides, Woods and Waters here. We have a gentleman that we'll be showcasing a little bit later. His name is Mike with Flipping the Bird, another local Michigan company. But there's, fur dealers and guide services. There's African safaris here.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything that you want in the outdoor world, you're going to be able to find it here. And a lot of gear here, a lot of fishing gear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say there's probably more fishing gear than anything, but they also have like patio stuff. There was a bed, the Amish woodworking, like beds and tables and everything else out there.
We also have educational booths from Michigan DNR is here, that they have some of that information for the kids to keep that engagement. There's archery shooting for the kids and BB shooting for the kids. So it's definitely a family-oriented event that you can bring the kids out and have a good day. A lot of education here, a lot of different funded events where they have like the raffle activities and the family activities here. So it's a good thing to come out and get your family involved in.
So Hannah, I gotta ask. This isn't as cool as our normal events. So as just a participant, a Woman of the Wild participant, what made you say, heck yeah, I want to hang out at the booth all day and hang out with these ladies?
So every time there's something coming up or I come back from an event, I go to work, right? I talk to my family after. I talk about it, I share everything, and they listen, but I talk about it a whole lot. So I was super excited to be able to come and share it with other people, get them involved. I've been doing that a lot on Facebook as well, just trying to get it out there and get more girls involved, because it's really been life-changing for me. And even my husband's like, without this group, you would not be as happy as you are. And he pushes me to go and do all these things, and he fully supports me, and he helps out a lot.
A lot.
He's very, very, very helpful, and I'm super appreciative of that. I was just super ready to come help just because I love you guys and I love the group and I like to represent.
So sitting on that side of the table, because I know what it's like sitting on this side of the table, but sitting on that side of the table, what is something that you feel is really important for somebody who may want to sign up to listen? Sorry, we've got the podcast playing in the back, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my voice. I totally lost my train of thought. So what do you think is something really good for somebody who would be sitting on that side to know about? What do you want to share?
So it's definitely a comfortable environment. You're not going to feel out of place or judged or anything at all. This is for all experiences, brand new, veteran, anything like that. Ask questions. Get a hold of the girls. They will answer anything that you have. Check out our videos, things like that. Step out there. You really have to step out there to be able to experience those different things and grow as a person. So that I don't know, that was the most important thing to me, was just the friendliness and the camaraderie that comes with all of it. All of the connections that I've made with this group, the guides, the other girls, the team.
Yeah.
It's definitely been great, and yeah.
So, okay, some of the events you had no clue. You've never done it before. You like the waterfowl. You've never hunted for a waterfowl. Kind of walk us through being a brand new person, what somebody on that side of the table is going to experience.
So, for example, the diver duck hunt, since that was my first pretty much hunt, other than the educational goose, you get there, we met up at a local diner, and we all sat down and had good dinner together and got to know each other. Just kind of broke the ice on that. We went to the Airbnb after we got settled in. We sat down and we talked about what we would expect for tomorrow, the process of the hunt, and what you should and shouldn't do. We went over bird identification and how to know what you are shooting at. I asked questions like, do you shoot at them when they're flying by, when they're coming in? And they told me, when they're coming in or when they're taking off. So we would do that. And I brought my own gun and my own ammo. I know that sometimes if you don't have that, you can borrow them,
right?
Which is totally fine and not a big deal at all.
Right.
You got to know what you need to get anything. But yeah, we went through that, and I got sat out in the layout boat. And the guide was just kind of like, hey, here's your walkie-talkie. If you shoot a bird and it's down, let me know. I'll come over, tell you what it is, and I'll tell you how many you have left to get. So I would kind of let some come in, and I would learn to tell the difference a little bit on the fly, because it's a little harder than just looking at a picture of them just sitting on the water. You got to learn how to identify them when they're on the fly. So I was just kind of watching a little bit, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm sure it's this. So I would shoot. I got my red-headed hen for my first duck, which I think is really fitting for me.
So those that don't know, she is a redhead.
I am a fire redhead. So I thought that was really cool. That was a sign or something. And then I got 2 ruddy ducks that day. I think one of the girls got a bluebill, and that was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we did that. We took turns in the layout boats, because he only had the 2 layout boats, and there were 4 of us girls for the first time doing that. And we just did that, and then we finished up for the day, and we headed out, and we went and got, I think it was dinner again by the time we were done. And then we sat down and we talked, and if we needed to clean birds, we cleaned them. I kept mine to mount them because I am obsessed with keeping memories like that, taxidermy. I have probably 7 birds in my freezer, including the crane, folded up in the freezer, waiting to go to the taxidermist.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was step by step. I wouldn't say holding your hand, but they're there if you feel like you need that grasp and that reassurance, which is definitely something you want. I was never able to go on any hunts with any other groups that I didn't really know. I always tried to, but with the people around me, it was all guy groups, and they're like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, so you don't really get to go yet. But with Women of the Wild, you just get to go right away. And they take you under their wing, and it's fantastic.
Now, did you ever feel like, oh, I can't ask that, or I can't do that?
So in my mind, just being the anxious, shy person that I am, occasionally I was like, that sounds like a dumb question, but I would ask it because hunting is a big deal. You got to be sure of, what you're doing is right and legal. Right. And so I asked the questions, and I was greeted with the answer kindly and warmly, and it kind of dove into a conversation, which is the best thing to have happen.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. We're here. Felicia's been running around like crazy. So,
crazy woman.
She is a crazy woman. She's been helping all these people coming through, and that's awesome. I absolutely love the fact that I've seen so many people come through the booth and everything like that. Words of wisdom before we sign off.
I also wanted to add in really quick, my husband.
Okay.
I'm just throwing this out there for girls. Don't feel weirded out by being different. I full hunting, fishing, hardcore into that. My husband only bluegill and bass fish. I've gotten him into salmon fishing, steelhead, got him into deer hunting and taught him how to do it. He can do it by himself now. I'm really proud of him.
Yeah.
He got deer 2 years in a row. I didn't even do that this year because I've been duck hunting, but he's been really receptive, and you don't need to be afraid to teach anybody or share your knowledge, even if you feel like you don't know that you're experienced enough. Like I said, I'm 24. I've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm no pro. I'm no veteran, but I've had the experiences out in the field, and I'm like, this is what happened to me. It might not happen to you, but you need to take it receptively. And just share, take people under your wing. My kids I'm going to teach. I've had plenty of girls get a hold of me that want to get out. So I'll be like, yeah, I'll teach you. And also check out Women of the Wild.
I love that. I love that.
But
That's a good little plug there.
Just be yourself and be outgoing. And don't think that because you're a girl or you don't have experience that you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Because you definitely can.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with that. That's the same thing like when it came to trapping with me, I haven't trapped all my life. But when I started Trapping Girl, that was the whole same concept. That was this whole same idea. And that was part of the reason why I don't want to say gravitated, but kind of towards this and got a hold of Felicia. And I said, listen, I need to be a part of this. I need to help out. And she said to me, she was like, well, that's awesome because we're looking for board members. And I was like, sign me up. We're good.
Send it.
I love it. I love that. And it sounds like you're going to be on a lot more hunts and trips and everything with us. So, ladies, if you're out there and you're like, hey, I don't know if I want to do this, it sounds like Hannah will be on every single one that we have.
I hope so.
So you have a friend already who's going to be on these hunts and trips and educational events with you. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
And always open to questions about anything. I'm pretty much on Facebook all the time.
So how do people find you, Hannah?
So I have my Facebook, Hannah Weigold. I just kind of created a professional page, and it's Hannah Weigold Outdoors. I also have an Instagram, _RedFox98_, and I'm kind of just moving that from my personal Instagram over to my hunting and fishing Instagram, just to showcase it and showcase Women of the Wild and motivate other girls.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much all the social media that I have, but feel free to shoot me a message, and I'm always happy to talk about being outside.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for coming out and hanging out with us today. You are definitely welcome to work the booth at any point that you would like.
I'm having a good time.
It's fantastic to have somebody here who's willing to hang out with us, because I do a lot of trapping conventions, and my husband is never in the booth. Ooh. So unless I pay somebody to sit here, it's me. So I love this. I love this. So yeah, come on out, check us out. It is in
Novi.
I
think it's Novi. It's either Novi or Novi. But I don't even know how to say Ypsilanti. So
it's in Michigan?
It's in Michigan. You can look it up, Outdoorama on Facebook or on Google. I'll be here hopefully Saturday again.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Your husband's coming though, right?
He is coming. He really wants to come and check out everything and come and support us at the booth. He was really into all this stuff. He's gonna be getting some of those fishing plastics over there. That's 100%. I told him I'd buy him some today, and he's like, I want to pick them out. I was like, okay.
You're like, never mind.
Fine.
That's fine. Whatever. All right. Well, yeah. Check us out, guys. Stop by, say hi. Apparently on Saturday we'll have Hannah back with us. So, woo! All right. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great day.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye. And that concludes this episode of Women of the Wild podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions or would like to check out our website, it is www.womenofthewild.net. We post different events and everything that we've got going on. We would really like to also thank our sponsors, ACC Crappie Sticks, Girls with Guns, Southern Snare, Sawmill Creek Baits and Lures, RMC
Custom Calls, Atlantic Coral Enterprise, Blast and Cast Guide Service, Epler Fur, Feather Moon Calls, Shangri-La Safari, Dr. Josh Farr Children's Books, and Shelley Emmer with Dirty Girl Guide Service. Thank you all, and hope that you tune in 2 weeks for our next episode.